It gives us great honor at this time to welcome today's commencement speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, the son of a college geography professor who insisted his children travel the world and dream big. Lieutenant Colonel Rooney told his father at age 12 he was going to be a golf professional and a fighter pilot. He started first on the golf path, playing as a walk-on at Kansas University, eventually earning a scholarship and making the cut at the NCAA Championships with his KU teammates. He qualified for the 100th playing of the U.S. Amateur at Newport Country Club, besting, among others, Tiger Woods in a round that year. He then joined the United States Air Force to become an F-16 fighter pilot. He would graduate from M-16 fighter jet training and receive the Spirit of Attack as the Top Gun graduate, heading to Iraq 60 days later. He completed 3 tours of duty as an F-16 pilot and received countless medals, including the Air Medal and Distinguished Service Medal. He has since established Folds of Honor and Patriot Golf Days. The foundation has raised and provided more than 52,000 scholarships worth about $244 million to families of fallen or disabled U.S. military service members and, more recently, first responders. Lieutenant Colonel Rooney is a best-selling author and has founded and constructed 2 golf courses. He has spoken to thousands of corporations and community groups, offering his inspirational and motivational message on leadership and synchronicity, a term for chance with a purpose. Please give a warm Trine welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney.
All right. So thank you. I am incredibly proud of all the graduates and the parents here, and blessed with just the opportunity to share a quick story. And you saw from my background, I've been a fighter pilot for over 20 years, so the one thing you can count on from my commencement speech, it will be high speed, low drag. So it will not be long, I promise you that. And I hope from our 6 to 8 minutes together that all the students, especially here, will take one thing with you out on your journey that has a lasting impact on your life. We're going to start at the end. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected of me. So that's the number one regret on people's deathbed. The great news is I'm going to offer you a piece of advice to help you live wherever your life takes you, but be true to yourself. And my college professor at the University of Kansas actually introduced me to this concept of volition. So volition is the power of choice. And you got to understand that every day we wake up, we get 2 things. We get a chance and a choice. But the choices that you are making will culminate to write the legacy of your life. And the cool thing is, our choices follow a logical path. And it all starts with, I won't do that, I can't, I'd like to, I'll try, I can, I will. So here's the secret. I will is an unstoppable force in your life every day, however you decide to deploy it. So as you head out on this brave new frontier of your life, show of hands, who knows exactly what you want to do? So that's about 2% if I'm looking out there. So I've got great advice. I can tell you how to get to that place that you may not know of right now. And it's 3 things: passion, aptitude, impact. Do you love it? Are you good at it? Does it make a difference? That is the trinity of life, and if you can identify those 3 things, you will live a full life. It will guide you to where you are supposed to be. So when I was sitting in your shoes in 1996 getting ready to leave the University of Kansas, I knew where I was going, and that was to the United States Air Force. And we are hiring, by the way, and it's the coolest team on earth. But I would end up in Wichita Falls, Texas at Shepherd Air Force Base to start undergraduate pilot training. And they spent about $6 million per pilot training us to be fighter pilots over 2.5 years. And as I wrap up my time with you, I'm going to share 4 lessons that I learned in those 2.5 years that literally changed everything in my life and put me on a trajectory that I could have never imagined. So the very first day of pilot training, I knew I was facing a challenge much bigger than myself, and I started a routine that I have not stopped in 23 years. And that was, I set my alarm, I got up, made a cup of coffee, and I opened the Bible. And I'm not telling you what to believe in your life. For me, it's very clear. It is my Lord and Savior. But I am telling you that the common denominator of every graduate out there and everyone in this room is that we will face challenge and resistance in our lives. And it is not a good plan to face it alone. That's the first lesson. The second lesson was after day 2, they briefed us on the thousands of aviators who have made the ultimate sacrifice in our business. It's a dangerous business. And I'll never forget what this young captain said at the end of the day. He said, "Can't guarantee you'll be safe, but the best piece of advice I can give you is stay ready so you don't have to get ready." Every day striving to be the best version of yourself, because you never know when that opportunity is going to present itself, when that challenge is going to enter your life, so you are ready in that moment. So about 18 months after pilot training, I found myself at Luke Air Force Base. And you get 4 rides in an F-16 with an instructor, and your 5th ride is solo. I walked out early for my solo ride, and I climbed into this single-seat cockpit all by myself, $65 million fighter jet, goes 2.5 times the speed of sound. I've had 4 rides. And as I'm sitting there, I realized that I'm not alone. That pretty much everybody on my journey up until those 26 years that had told me, "You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, what a stupid dream this is climbed into that cockpit with me. These defining moments, these experts that will permeate your life, I promise, as you go out and chase your dreams. And I brought my helmet because my helmet was sitting on my rail, on the canopy rail next to me in that F-16. And it was kind of outer body. I know God was leading me in this moment. I just ripped this helmet off the rail, and I put it on, and I put my dark visor down. And I closed all of those people out of my life once and for all. And it was the most empowering moment when I knew no one was coming to help, but this moment was up to me. As you head out into this world today, it starts today, you need a dark visor to avoid becoming a prisoner of common assumption, to listen to where your heart is calling you to go, but the world will try to keep you from going there. The single-seat fighter pilot mentality for me, it changed everything, and it's a perfect metaphor for your life. You come into this world by yourself, and you leave this world by yourself. And if you want to catch your dreams, you need to put your dark visor down, and you need to go get them starting today. My daughter is going to graduate Notre Dame in 2 weeks. She's an English major, and she shared this poem with me that I just love from Wordsworth. And there was a stanza in there that read, "You come into this world trailing clouds of glory." And I translate that to all the graduates here this morning. Is God brought you into this world with unique gifts, unique talents, and your mission from this day forward is to figure out why you are here and glorify your life and God by getting really good at doing that. So I leaned forward in that F-16 that fateful day, and I hit start too. No keys required to start an F-16, by the way. And I took off into this beautiful Cavus sky at Luke Air Force Base, and I came back and I landed, and I rolled up my bubble canopy, and I take this deep breath. Greatest smell on earth, jet fuel, right? And I exhale. And I get one of the greatest gifts of my life. Go before you're ready. And it has been my anthem ever since that fateful day at Luke Air Force Base, and I believe it is the DNA that ties greatness together. When you can get to that point in life when you figure out, man, I'm never going to have it all figured out, but you listen to your heart and you go. It is the DNA that ties greatness together. The final thing I will leave you with goes back to that 12-year-old kid that told my dad, I'm going to be a golf pro and a fighter pilot. And he looked at me and he said, son, can you tell me which way an airplane takes off? And I looked back at him and I'm like, Dad, I think it's into the wind. He said, that's exactly right. As you head out onto this journey of life, and what a blessed journey it is, just remember, you take off into the wind and you will face resistance and challenge, but understand God does not put that in your life to keep you down. He puts that in your life to raise you up. Congratulations, graduates.